Dan Galushin. Welcome to another edition of Dan's Fishing Tales. I'm going to be talking to you today about well, transporting your rods around, especially if you're a shoreline fisherman or really anybody. Right here, these are gun cases. Now, probably a good 20 years ago, I got this one for about 15 bucks at one of these traveling tool type shows. They used to have a lot of them. You don't really see that anymore. But at that time I got it, but I got it for transporting reels. And this thing was full of reels, especially when I was going down to Bull Shoals, Arkansas, or traveling around the shows. And I've been in this industry for over 50 years now. And of course I was fishing before that too. But here a while back, actually it was probably last year, I had been fishing a lot from shore and using my rods, sticking out. A lot of them were two-piece rods, especially my B&M spinning rods, and I had some other long rods that were like 8.5 foot. They were two-piece. We're going to talk about two-piece rods here in a little bit too. But anyway, I'd have those and I'd leave them together and stretched out, and I'd be transporting them in the back, and no cases, anything like that. I did have some plain old cases on the spinning rods. I'd keep a few of those that I weren't using that much, and I'd put it in there. Anyway, what was happening is stuff would fall over on them. Unfortunately, none of them did get broken, but it could happen. And I thought, you know, I got that old gun case, this one right here, this aluminum case. They're nice, lightweight, very sturdy, padded inside, and I'll open them up here in a second. But I started thinking, you know, those wouldn't be too bad, because I'm going to all two-piece rods. And again, we're going to be talking about the two-piece here in a little bit, because I know a lot of you are going to say, why two-piece, you know, one piece. It used to be, but not anymore. Anyhow, in this one, at first I thought, well, I'm going to use my B&M spinning and put all those in here. And I wanted 4 in each one, because I've got another group of rods that go into the boat, and then these will fill in for some of the other places, because as I've always said, all of your rods and reels are tools, just like a carpenter would have his tools. Each one's for something different. You got worm rods, spinnerbait rods, crankbait rods, long distance, short distance, ultralight, everything. They're all tools. But this one, I decided to go ahead and put the casting reels into the smaller ones. You can see it is smaller. See here and here? Well, it's also smaller this way. And because of that, makes it a little bit more difficult to put the spinning into the smaller one, because you know the reels stick down further. So anyway, I'm going to open this up and then I'm going to show you. I got that open while there was a plane going over, so I kind of cut that out. You might still hear him some. Anyway, this is what I've done for my casting rods, and you can see I've got one in here. I got a couple others out because I want to show you something on some ferrules, and these fit in here very nicely. They're two-piece, as I said, and these are going to be my long distance casting. These are 7.5 foot ones to put together, and you'll notice I've got these straps on here. They're like this right here. These are excellent to hold. Just put them down here. You don't need one up there and one down there. Just put them into this section. It'll hold them together, as you can see, very nicely. And these go right in here, just like that. And there's a 7.5 foot rod in a 53-inch case. And by the way, you want to get the 53-inch cases. Don't get anything shorter, because then you'll probably have some problems. As down here in this one, I've got a B&M Russ Bailey rod that's an 8-foot rod, and it fits in there. And I'll be showing you like that in a second. But I want to talk to you first about those ferrules. We were talking about, you know, one-piece rods, two-piece rods, and a lot of people say, oh, two-piece rod. Yeah, that's true. Many years ago, they kind of started out, well, you had your ferrules, and they call them a spigot ferrule, which I'm going to be talking to you about and showing you here in a second. They used a lot of those in fly rods. And one of the reasons is they would fit good, but people think, they're not going together good. As I said, I'll grab it now. I'll show you what I mean. Okay, here's a handing fishing rod right here. Extremely lightweight. I mean, this thing is just unbelievable. And putting this Kastking Assassin reel on there that's only 5.4 ounces, oh man, that's something. One drawback about this, and I've told you this too in another video, is it doesn't have any keeper on it. So I put one of these on here. And I showed you how to do that too. If you didn't see that and want to know how, go back to that other video. Subscribe and go back and take a look. Anyway, here is a spigot. Here it is right here. See how the gap is? You think, geez, that's not going together right. Yep. Once you feel the resistance, once you know it's firm in there, don't do anything else with it. Does it cut down the sensitivity? No, not really. Some people say that they're just as sensitive or even more so. I can't see where it's more so. I definitely do not see that. In fact, it may be just slightly less. I don't know. Because one way I'll do it, and I can't really do it too good here, I'll take a rod tip and I'll put it and rub it down the grain of the wood. If you can feel that wood, that's extremely sensitive. A lot of people always said, you know, put it up next to a person's throat so you can hear it vibrate. And I can remember back in the outdoor show days when I did a lot of those, you'd see guys demonstrate them like that all the time. I don't recommend that. I really don't. But anyway, this is a spigot. And one of the things that these do is as they wear where a normal one might wear, or at least it used to be, they would get a little loose and you start seeing them like this. Well, the idea of this is if it starts to wear like that, it'll keep going down. So you got a lot of space, you got a lot of years of wear on it. But as I said, this is extremely lightweight. This one is a light action with a fast tip to it. And just I'm just really impressed. Very, very anxious to try this one out. But I'm anxious to try out all these Kastkings too that I've got. And they're all Kasking reels, by the way. Put this over here, because now what I'll do is show you a regular ferrule. And here's a regular ferrule, and you can see in a lot of cases, and this is a Kastking rod, by the way, a lot of cases you can't tell the difference where the ferrule's at on these new two-piece ones that they got. Used to be, yeah, and another problem that this, when they first come out with this style and started using them as two pieces, they would split. They'd wear out in a hurry. You'd start seeing all the varnish go and all that. We're going to find out how good these are, though, and I'm going to be telling you during the season, because this will be the first year that I'll be using the handing and also the Kastking, and they're all Kasking reels, too. Now, let me get this box down and we'll get into the one with all the B&M on it. Okay, we're going to get into the B&M rod. The old $15 case is definitely a lot different. Plus it's even got some real nice hinges like that. I'll tell you, I wish now I'd have got maybe 4 or 5 of these, because then I'd have used them for the guns on the shoot and blink side of things as well. Okay, here we've got all of our spinning outfits, and I've got 4 of them in here, and they're all B&M. But I told you about that 8-footer that I've got, the Russ Bailey one. Well, it's back here. And I've got it back in here, and you notice how I got the reels laid. Here's another thing you want to do too. Make sure that you got on your spinning reels, these are all, except for one, are all B&M. Let's grab this one right here. This is one of my favorites. This is Sam Heaton Super Sensitive rod, and it's got the regular ferrule on this one, but we're not going to get back into that deal. But see how it collapses, the handle? That makes a lot of difference when you're going to be transporting them like that. And this one's a real quick one. I really like that. And that is a regular B&M rod, by the way. The Mitchell 308 that I've got back there, it's not that way. You got to kind of unscrew it and get it collapse a little. It does not collapse as good as these Pro 100s do. And as I said, this is all of my stuff that is, and I got this around here because there's a soft plastic. Well, in fact, this is a fat shad, a natural forage bait fat shad. This is my finger jigging rod, by the way. I got that on there to kind of keep that away from this foam stuff, because I'm just not too sure how that plastic would react to it. Usually don't react very well, especially the Z-Man stuff. Man, that'll re-eat stuff. But anyway, that's how I do that one. Same way, you notice I got these on there. And it makes it real easy to transport. I'll put that back in there later after we're done. But you can see it's got all this egg crate type stuff. works great. And so if you're going to be transporting like that on shoreline fishing or whatever, get some of these, pick out the rods you want to use like that. Maybe try out some two-piece, especially if you're going to be doing this, and you're going to find that it's going to be great, because once you get to the boat ramp, if you want to use any of these in the boat, just put them together before you go out, and stick them in there like that, and whole piece, and you're ready to go. So until next time, get out on the water and enjoy a great day of fishing.